Yo, what's good with it, Pack family? This your boy, Mr. Check My Resume, here to bring you my watch list for the week of June the 27th. So we're gonna get right into it, man. Ain't got too many plays for you, but I got a decent amount. We still are looking a little bullish overall here in the market, so we're gonna drop into some plays and see what we're looking like for the week. Just to let y'all know, I will be dropping a monthly and quarterly watch list later this week. So you'll get a couple lists from me for this week. So this week's specific to the week. This list I mean is specific to the week, and so with that, let's get into it. First one I got here on my list. Well, what I got on my screen? Lows. Let's start with Lows then. Lows. We've got the inside week here. Looking at a 2-1-2 potentially. Looking to take this one. Short-term trade, I'm not feeling real bullish on the market here. So we're looking at a short-term move. Take it back to this broad information level. Looking at about the 190 range. Maybe push up a little bit above that. But that's kind of where I'm looking for a short-term move there on Lows. A lot of these plays will be similar to that where they're more so looking for a short-term move to take it back to the next broad information range, more so than trying to take something long to break a trend back to the uptrend. So next one I got on my list here is HD, and we'll have a similar thought process on HD. We've got a couple thought processes here on this one, specifically looking to take this 2-1-2 reversal here on the week. That'll be above 283.46. But then also on HD, looking to possibly take this to the 295, 296 range. And if we do get some movement above that, we could potentially push that 315 range. But I'm still looking here at this 295, 296 range. Looks like we've gotten rejected last couple times we touched that. So that'll be what I'm looking for on HD. Just another short move on that. May look at some July and August contracts, just depending on, just kind of the Greeks and all those different things. So you got to analyze those contracts to see which ones are gonna pay you the best. What's the best return on investment? So next one here, I'm still in discretionary. Want to take a look at Dollar Tree. DLTR. We are still in Dollar General. We've been looking at Dollar Tree as a potential sympathy play. It's just been chilling, haven't really done too much. But looking at it now, potentially to push up here on the inside week. We also got an inside month, so be careful about that. We are coming to a close on the month, so let's see if we can get some movement to the upside here. But on the week, we are looking at a potential 2-1-2. And that'll be above 157.92. Be looking for that one to see if it pushes above this broad information here around 160 and make a move up in the next channel up to this 168, 170 range. And that'll be what I'm looking at short term. However, the way Dollar General has been moving, just thinking that we may get a sympathy play here on Dollar Tree. So just still monitoring. We're not going to look at it as a fucking bug. I'm not gonna look at it like a like a primary play to take. So this is just more of a secondary play that we could potentially take advantage of, and we'll go from there. Next one I got on my list. What we got here? We got Airbnb. This looks like an inside week hammer. Yeah, so looking at a 2-1-2 here on Airbnb. Yeah, I remember this one. Looking to take this one back to the 120 range. I really like this setup here. We don't have too many broad informations in the way, so we're looking decent in terms of movement back to that 120 level. And that'll be what I'm looking at. Looking at some July and August contracts for that potential play there on Airbnb. So very straightforward there, 2-1-2 on the week. Your entry levels above 104.89. And then, I mean, that looks simple enough. Again, you should be monitoring SPY. I think we're good until we get about the 400 range on SPY. Make sure I'm saying the right price level on SPY. But yeah, about 400. That's what I'm looking at on SPY. So I think overall we'll be good on the market till we get to that level. Next ticker I want to look at, still in discretionary, and that is RCL, Royal Cruise Lines. I really like the setup on this one. This one looks really clean. Is playing well off the macro broadening formations. As you can see, I don't even have any weekly ones drawn. Just looking at the month and the quarter. Didn't see any yearly. So this one here is just really respecting these macro BFs. We've got a very clean setup here. 212 on a week above $41.80. We'll be looking to take this one all the way back to like the $60, $65 level. We'll see how fast it can get there. Again, I'll be looking at July and August contracts, but all things considered, I'll be monitoring SPY to see what price level it eventually gets to, because if SPY comes down, it's going to pull stocks like these down. So we just got to be monitoring that to make sure. Doesn't matter what our target is. When SPY starts to pull down, I'm not banking on these stocks going against the grain. So it's just my thought process. So just know that if I'm here in discretionary, tech, communications, anything like that, just know that's what I'm thinking. The next one I'm looking at here is MasterCard. Made a hell of a trade on Friday on Visa. Visa's already broken the week. Looking at MasterCard is right at its trigger point. Nice bounce off the macro broadening formations. Ready to take this 212 back to the upside above 330.81. I mean, we right there at the trigger. So looking to see if that one pops right out the gate or even is gapped up a little bit. We got a long way to go to get to this first target. Honestly, for me, I'm looking at about this 350 range, 348. Would be what I'm looking at conservatively. However, again, it's all dependent upon what SPY is looking like. If SPY is pushing, then this one's good. But again, if we start to pull down, or if we get to that rejection level on the broadening formations on SPY, then I'll be looking to see how this one reacts, and most likely be planning to take an exit. So just be monitoring. This broadening formation here is really what I'm looking at. You could just say around the 350 range, but that's why I always say range, because there's not a specific price that's going to get rejected at. It's the range. So keep it moving. Keep the theme of tech going. That was MasterCard. Let's move into chips. AMD. So here on AMD, got another inside week. Again, AMD bouncing off a broader formation. We've had some downside movement. Now we're getting a little short-term bounce, in my opinion. I don't think any of this stuff is going to be long-term. We have seen some China stocks and stuff. They've been going ballistic, but outside of that, I don't really trust nothing. So right here on AMD, we got a 212 on the week above 87.53. Feel we'll get that break. We'll move up here to this next broadening formation level around $90, $91. And potentially push up to this $94, $95 range. That'll be what I'm looking at, short-term move. Again, if SPY continues to push, then I can see us breaking through these broadening formations, pushing up to the $100 range. But I'm not really looking too hot on this one right here in terms of like going too far out in terms of price target. So just be mindful of that. I'm just playing these conservative short-term move on chips. But I'm looking at this, first target should be definitely one that you should consider, this 92.03. But just know once you get above that level, looking at this $100 level as the next potential rejection point. So again, all dependent upon what the SPY is doing. All right, next one I have on my list. This was one we cracked really good last time. Chips made a little pop, and that was ON Semiconductors. We caught a nice little rev on that one some weeks ago. Looks like we're back in that buy range. Looks like there's a lot of buy orders in that area. It's picking the price back up. So we are looking at this 2-2 rev on the week, looking at entry above $53.97. And again, this one right here looks actually better than AMD does in terms of like the broadening formations and where they sit. This looks like a TTO to me on ON. So I'll be looking at ON to push up. I mean, with the lack of broadening formations here in this area, it just gives me more confidence to play it a little longer. So this will be one to be mindful of as well as it pushes up for chips. And the last time it ran, it just ran against the grain. It didn't even bother to worry about what the rest of the market was doing. So I like stocks like that. So be mindful. I got this one going back to around the $61, $62 level. So that'll be looking at a TTO here on the week, bouncing off a broadening formation. So it looks like to me. We'll see. We'll see what really happens. Next, I want to get into industrials. Again, another sector that I'm looking at, short-term move, not nothing too crazy. Looking at Delta Airlines, looking at a 212 potentially here on the week. You got a hammer week, looking at entry above 31.29. Looking to potentially take this one back to the $34, $35 level. This was again, I mean, I guess you could call it short term, but that's a nice percentage move on the underlying. So this $34, $35 level be what I'm targeting on Delta Airlines. Next one I have on my list. I just might as well throw United in there too. Love actually looked good as well, LUV. But United, UAL, looking at again, you see the setup. 212 on the week. A lot of inside weeks. Hammers. Got entry above 38.63. Looking to potentially push this one up to this 41.63 level. Then after that, Mr. BF. Uh-oh. Come on. Oh, well. We got 212 on the week above 38.63. Excuse me. Looking to push this one. You see this first level here at 41.70. If we are still bullish around this level on spot, and I look to this one to push up, but again, we can't bank on this thing going too crazy without spot also being pushing up. So I don't trust this one going in conflict with spot. So remember that. Forget all your price targets. All right, last one in the industrials I want to talk about. It's my baby. One we've been playing for a while. That's LMT, Lockheed Martin. This one took a nice little dip over the last couple weeks. Came back, we didn't even touch it. Came close to this monthly BF right here. Looks like we broke through the quarterly, and now we're going back to retest the quarterly, potentially break through that. But it could take us some time to get through. We'll see what happens there. But I like LMT to go back and break the week here. We got an entry on the week above 420.50. Again, looking this one, it may be a little bit of turbulence first. Once you get to that 420.25 level, once you get into that broadening formation around 428. You may see, maybe a little bit of choppiness as it breaks through there, and then once you get through that retest, you're looking at, nice area for this one to go and test the other side of the range is really what we're looking at here. So we could see this one end up around 460. So this one here, I may look at to move a little longer than the others. So I'll be monitoring LMT. I like the price level that it fell to, so I'll be looking for this one to push the other side of the range here at this 460 level, but you're gonna need some time, so don't think just July contracts on that. And again, week time frame triggers do not mean get week or 2 week contracts. That is not what I mean by that. It's just the time frame that the triggers are happening. It's not an indication of what contracts you're supposed to get. So now, just pulling up one oily boy, and that's Oxy. I like where Oxy's level's at. I like the broad information level that it's at as well. Um, I see that it tested, got bought up. Now we're trying to press and see if it's going to push back up. I think it will push up back to the $65 level to test its first target here on the week. Then from there we'll see what happens. I think we'll continue to push up, particularly on Oxy, just because of all the massive buying that's been coming in. Along with what Buffett's doing, there's a lot of other buying coming in too. So just I like Oxy. So got this 2-2 rev on the week here. Your entry is going to be above $59.93. You take that week back green next week, and the month you got a lot. You got you got to get back to 70, 63 on the month. So it's probably a fair bet that the month's going to be red, because we got about 3 trading days in the month, 4 maybe 3. So just bank on that month being red, but we'll see what happens going into the next month. So an interesting month right there on energy. Q3 is going to be an interesting quarter for energy as a whole. Next one here, we're going to get into staples, and that is K. Roger, Kroger. So Kroger, what we got here, looking at an inside week. Got inside week on Kroger, potentially above $48.71. Looking to push Kroger up to about this $52 range. Just looking at conservative targets. And, you could even look at the first price target at $51.49. That's a decent level to plan your trade on that first target. So very simple. 2-1-2 on the week. Looking to see this one push up, take advantage of the short-term move to the upside, take it back to this broad information range, and get up out of there. Very simple move. Not much else to say with that one. Okay, Roger, let's keep it moving. Oh, yeah. Next one I want to talk about is utility stock. Y'all already know what I'm about to say. Y'all know how I gets down. Y'all know I likes to play that SO. And we got SO sitting up here looking like it's trying to reverse. Looking like we TTOing on the month. We got a lot going on. First off, let's go down to the week here. See this 2-1-2 potentially on the week. Looks like a nice TTO. 2-1-2 above $70.04. We got this first broad information level here at 72.29, looks like, somewhere around there. So say 72.30, something like that. Then that's actually technically not at the first target, but close to. Then above that, you're pushing up to the $75 range. And so that'll be ultimately what I'm looking at on utilities, on SO in particular. Utilities can go regardless of what SPY is doing. So I like that fact as well. So I'll be watching this one to continue to push up. It had a nice push down. So I think there was a lot of buyers that came in there at that price level and bought it up really fast. So like in Southern Company, the push up going into Q3. I like that. And my last ticker of the day is another financial stock. Y'all know we smoked Wells Fargo last week. Dynamite trade. We killed it, smacked it. I know some of us are still in it on the swing tip. Solid execution. So this week we're looking at JPM acting like the laggard. So see if we can get a similar move on JPM this week. Nice reversal on the week. 2-2 rev here. Again, a lot of these stocks dip below their broad information, so now they're going back to retest and break through, which I think a lot of them will with the way the market's pushing. Then I'm expecting this one to push up to this 129, 130 level. Again, I'm playing these conservatively. I'm not really looking for a whole lot. on these upside moves right now in this bear market. You just got to be cautious. So that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna play it conservatively. We get this break here. We look to push up to this 130 level, and that should correlate with SPY. Maybe we get there. Maybe we fall a little bit short. Just be mindful of the reversals, smaller time frames. So that, I'm gonna leave y'all with it. Y'all have a great rest of y'all evening, and I'll catch y'all in the morning so we can get this chicken. Peace.